Okay. Welcome to Wednesday episode of Vaygrim's Jan Season 3. Yada, yada, yada. This is a friggin' mess. This has been bothering me for a long time. All of these things being under the floor up here basically means that a lot of the routing for remote locations has to go through here. It will get requested from the actual storage room. It has to hit here, then go to its remote location. It's completely backwards. This should only connect to this thing right here. And this little arm goes all the way over, whoop, to this thing, which makes, I need to get rid of this. I don't need this block. I don't need the sheep cannon anymore. I can take down this weapon of mass distraction. Okay. So, I'm just gonna, boop. This is basically logistics pipe that provides this thing with rotten flesh and netherwort. The netherwort gets grown in the towers, in the garden towers. This gets generated in the monster dome. So we should only have this little setup right here hooked up to it. And then also, like, okay, for example, here's a perfect example of things. The actual garden towers, if we go over to them real quick, we're going to go over and around. Shade Hunter's on the server, by the way. Shade Hunter 81. He's one of the new guys. We come down here. These are actually funneling here for sorting. And that's actually not what I want. I want them to get sorted directly, because what this means is it has to go into the office, that little room that I just came from, where it's got basically most of my main machines. Boop. Let's just go wee this way. So it has to, that means everything, the garden towers route through here, because it's basically getting put here and then pulled out on this. It's getting put into another version of the chest somewhere else and then pulled out here. And everything sorts through this one little office, which should not be the way it is. Now, I want to keep this sorting chest. However, I'm actually probably going to change all remote locations to where they connect with these things. These are going to be used slightly differently, basically. I'm set these up with their own, this is the only problem I'm starting to have. I don't know why I'm having this, but we'll figure this out in a minute. Okay, so this is reversed from where it is downstairs. Here's what I did. Let's go down into the actual storage room. This is the warehouse, right? So previously there was a break in the cabling right here because I didn't want to loop, because loops can sometimes confuse logistics pipes. So there was a break right here. This tower, crafting tower, didn't connect to this one. Everything would have to go all the way around here, and it connected to a little hole in the floor down here that connected to one of those little remote inventory things and an ender chest. Well, that's actually not the case anymore. Boop, boop, boop. That can be buttoned up. Yes. Now, okay, and that was another problem, is that the default location for everything, if it didn't have a home, was right here. I think stuff was getting confused. So now this is the input for the system. There's no connection between this pipe and that pipe. It's broken down here. So this is the start of the network, and it goes all the way around here, all the storage all the way around here, and then the very last point for storage is right here. This alchemical chest, see, and this is from the Monster Dome. I ran it for a little bit earlier. This alchemical chest, this is where stuff goes from the Monster Dome now, because I was getting this is the chest from the Monster Dome, because a whole bunch of stuff that was supposed to be going over here was piling up in this chest because this was a shorter distance, I think. So what I want to do now is I want to get all the storage from the Monster Dome and move it over here. So everything is going to come in through that little pipe over here. It's going to be vertical stacks of these dimensional transceivers, and there's going to be one for every location. You see, this one has actually got, and see, this is a problem I'm having. I don't know why. Periodically, stuff will show up. This is getting received from remote locations, but this will periodically sit here and not get pulled out, and I'm not sure why. Anyway, stuff will come in through here, and it will go through. It'll pass here, see if it belongs. Pass here, if you see if it belongs. All of these, it'll see if it belongs. The last stop will be over here. Those two, that one of those the wall of storage from the Monster Dome will get moved right here. And maybe over here also, but most likely it's going to be right here. I could put more storage drawers over here for more kinds of wood and a tree farm of some kind somewhere. This is the last stop on storage. These 2 blocks, if it doesn't belong anywhere else, it'll go here. Last stop on the line. The only other thing after this is crafting tower 1 and crafting tower 2. Crafting stack 1 and 2. That's it. The crafting clusters are the only things that are after this on the system. This is the very last stop on the entire line. Now, what I've been doing is I've been getting these little things called, what is it called? Item speed. Help me, NEI. You're my only hope. There we go. Item speed upgrades. They're not expensive, but I have been running some mining to get some more gold. I have been making more red iron chipsets in the laser array over at the trade depot, stuff like that, so that I can actually do these. And so if I come down here, I get this specialty little tool thing, this do Dealemflacher. Right click and you see I have a whole bunch right here. That's because if something enters, the office would get requested right here, which means it's going to either send something down, it's going to hit that junction and zoom, get real fast, or it's going to get requested and then hit this and then get a speed burst going the other direction. But basically what I need to do is there's a junction here. I need to do 4 stacks of upgrades, 4 stacks of 15. Here, I need to do 4 stacks of 15 speed upgrades. Here. So everywhere along the line, no matter where it gets processed, if it's something from this, it'll come down here. What is this? I don't remember. Extractor. I think. Oh, this is for the sorting system, I think. Yeah. I need to move that. I'm in the sorting system, the ore processing system. I need to move that. I need to find a better location for that. But every single one of these little junction boxes right here with these vertical pipes going down into them, I need to have 4 stacks of those speed upgrades. And see, I don't have any here right now. Do I have any here? Yeah, I got 1. So that everywhere along the line, I'll have consistent moving speed, because then if something gets requested here, it'll get a speed boost. It'll pass through that junction, get the speed topped off, and it'll stay quick. That means my request times will be very, very fast. I won't have to worry about long waits for crafting. I won't have to worry about long waits for a lot of things. It's going to be better. So what I'm going to be doing, here's another problem I've got. This goes to the new stronghold pit stop that we made. The pit stop, as it is nicknamed. See, over here, I have it as send and receive, and on the other side, I switch them. I don't know if that helps, but that seems to help make sure that I don't have stuff that just sits. Where is it? Right here. In send or receive, it sits in one of these. And so far, I haven't seen any excessive traffic. One thing has been relayed. That was a test, and it was a potion. And it got relayed from way out in the monster tower, and it had to junction through. So what I'm basically going to be doing is I'm going to be getting a whole bunch of it. And the reason I'm using dimensional transceivers is, I'll be honest with you, oh God, not that many. That's a lot. I can actually just do this. I can stack them up. And I can do as many remote locations as I want to. Now, there is a certain maximum. There is a sane max that I'm going to hit on the LP system. And I think right now, I might have hit that already, specifically because I can't get this thing as dark. It's supposed to be bright like this. It's red and it's supposed to be green. I have to think about that. It is red, but it is synced up. And I can get items through this junction. For some reason, this does not want to turn green, but the one on the other side is. I have no clue. I'm going to take it as some kind of a weird ID bug. I have too many remote connector thingers or whatever. So basically, every single one of these are going to be put on power. Power. They're going to receive power from our observatory, our central system. And every single one of them, the power is just to kind of make sure that they've got enough to run, because I think it takes a little bit of power to actually move stuff around, if I remember right. So we have that setting turned pretty low, but I think there is still some kind of a cost. The next thing I need to do is make sure on every single one of these, you see I'm looking down at it, I need to do right click. Disabled. I need to look at this one and do, I'm just disabling every single one of these because I don't want, whoops, one click too many. Disabled. I don't want any crosstalk. I do not want them passing stuff back and forth between each other accidentally. There we go. And then we come down here to this one. What I'm basically going to do is just on top, make double sure. I've already done with these two. So now I can do it with these. And all of these are going to be used to clean up the system. So this is going to be the central junction for everything. Oh, that's not right. There we go. That is right. Is that right? That's right. There we go. Disabled. There we go. So now we have these stacks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to where the actual storage, the warehouse, is the central junction for everything, as it should be. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be the hard part. I have all these little terminals all over the place that I have to basically like right here. I don't know which one this is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take, I actually don't need this right now, the connector card out. Gonna break that. And we're going to go see which one changed. So if we go over here, it is this one. Okay. So now I'm going to take this card out. That does indeed stack. I can break that. I need to swap over and get a little bit of piping just to make sure this cross connects. Oop. That is bad. Let's do that. Make it go all the way around. Matter of fact, get this. Let's do that. And there we go. So now what I can actually do, wrong way, is I'm going to pick another one of these. I don't know why I did away with that stack of half stack. Let's actually just go crazy. I'm going to need about that many, I think. So what do is I come down here and all of these are private channels. I put my little tag in front of them just for the sake of whatever. Tech team, send, but add and then send. And then we're going to do tech team receive. Okay. It's always correct here. Backwards elsewhere. We're going to get one of these and put it there. Now, hopefully, if we actually go over to the tech tower, I'm actually gonna get, let's see. Where do we want to put this? We actually have a lot of redundant piping around here. I'm going to kill that. I'm going to kill that. Does it go anywhere? It does not. Okay. That's kind of weird. I'm going to get this and I'm going to put one right here. We're going to make it receive observatory power. And then these tech tower are going to be flipped. S goes to receive, R goes to send. And we right click, we put this in, save, refresh. We should have a link, which means now if we right click on this, suddenly I should be able to do everything with R in it. Okay, so that works. That is hooked up. This is now intact. This also means that this is routing through the central tower for stuff like biofuel for all of these systems that are automated. All these things should keep running, and I am taking my office out of the loop. Everything is coming from the storage where it should come from, which is glorious. That's the way I want it. I'm actually gonna keep that on me. Let's swap back to that for the sake of having our tools. So there's one less of these. I'm going to go through and I'm going to prune off all of these extras, and I will be back as soon as I have actually done that. And I will give you an update on how things are running, if things are smoother. Let you know. Be right back. Okay. It's been about an hour. I literally had so many places cross-linked to the system that I forgot about that I was digging up floors all over the base. It was aggravating, but the end is in sight. Lo, behold, and maybe lo some more, whatever that means. I need to change the position of these things, but you just pick them up with, whoops, some packing tape. I mean, it's literally basically you just, boop, then you break them out. Contents intact. You pick them up, you take them somewhere, and you put them back down, boom. And this thing even gets repaired by the Talisman of Repair from Project E. So I removed them all, lock, stock, and barrel. There's the drawer controller for this whole stack. Right here, I've actually got a chassis, pipe chassis going right into the back end of it. Polymorphic item sink, provider module, same thing as the other stacks of drawers. Easy peasy. Super, super easy. So this was the hard part, though. This goes to the kitchen. That's one of the ones I forgot about. This goes to the second level, the mid-level on the Magic Tower. This goes to the top level on the Magic Tower. This goes to the office. This goes to the pit stop. And this goes over to the tech tower, middle floor. This thing is now over here. This is the input. Now, basically, let's go back to the office real quick. Previously, there was a pipe underneath this that pulled out of it and put everything into the actual system. Now, if I put something in here to be sorted, it gets pulled out and sorted downstairs. It doesn't have to route through this part of the network, which means there will be a considerable efficiency and overall speed gain. This is the monster tower. This is the same color. It's green, 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 and it hooks up to the chest right next to the green, green, green chest that is next to the Killer Joe. So when Killer Joe kills stuff, it goes into that chest, which is basically linked to this one, and it gets pulled out via standard extractor, and it makes the cycle all the way around, all the way around. If it can't find a home, it shows up here. Now, periodically, we're going to get a lot of little bits of armor that will show up here. They'll build up in here, and they'll slowly get repaired. As they get repaired, we then get them and either put them in here, if they're vanilla, like unenchanted armor. If they're enchanted, we stick them in here. That's it. We even get enchanted tools sometimes, see? That's it. That is where it stops right there. So basically, we now have, this is the start of the network in here. Go all the way around, and this is the finish of the network for storage. Crafting is after it, but that's fine. This is the end of the actual storage network right here. This is the last stop. If nothing else has a home, it goes here, which means we should have a lot more efficiency. We should have a lot less hiccups. I'm just checking some of these things to make sure the send-receive buffers don't have weird stuff sitting in them. Yeah, see, they're all clear. And I've been even checking the statistics on the system. Actually, let's go back down. Let's pull out our boring little pipe controller meter thing. So, like, if I right-click on this, I can see one thing has made the passage through here. That's it. One relayed, lifetime. Nothing this session. Two things. This has got a lot of stuff that's been going through it because of the actual primary central sorting chest. So, like, one thing we need to do now is that the garden towers, let's go over the garden towers real quick. The garden towers were actually aiming to the white chest, that triple white chest, and I didn't want that sorting through the office anymore. Well, I've solved that problem, which means I can leave these things. See, that's white, white, white. I can leave all of the garden stuff going to here. So I don't have to worry about too much stuff getting sorted through there. So now, if we go back to this central tower, we go back to the warehouse. Going to be down here, and it is this one. If we sit here, we can watch this, and this will go up and up and up. The reason that the office one had so much traffic is because everything was going to the white chest that was right next to my work table, and it was getting extracted there instead of getting extracted over here. So basically, we've drastically improved our efficiency. We've drastically improved how things route. We've smoothed out a lot of bumps. We've taken out a lot of loops, and it's generally, see, that's the gardens going one pass. That is the gardens doing one cycle of harvest and then sending everything over here. And suddenly we don't have stuff that is getting, we don't have to worry about stuff sitting in weird buffers. So yeah, I can just double check all these. And we should see these numbers going up as they're supposed to. Nothing should be getting in, it should be ending up in the, see, nothing is ending up in the default chest. So things are going where they're supposed to be going, and this makes me immensely happy. Now, here's one of the better things. We did not break this. You remember this remote orderer logistics pipe in our actual inventory system? Well, this did not break. So now, if I want to, let's see. This goes off to the that machine right there. It's literally a line that goes whoop, and then it comes down here. That is all this line of piping does. So I can cover that up, cover this up. This hooks up to the warehouse. Everything is controlled by the warehouse now. I can actually right-click there, right-click there, right-click there, close up the floor. We don't have to worry about so many ugly holes. I think I've got some other holes somewhere to fill up, but remote orderer, I'm going to just let's random. And it should be. Boom. There we go. That's it. And now if I open this, it will open this chest, but it's not getting sorted from that instance of that chest. It's getting sorted from the one downstairs. You see? So we've increased our efficiency magnificently. Now everything, all the flow is right through here. This is the heartbeat, the control center, so to speak, of the in, the out, and the remote connections. Now, for some reason, I still cannot get this inventory system connector pipe to actually light up. The one above it, the one below it work fine. And it does work fine. It's not even delayed, slow, or anything like that. It works very, very nicely and very quickly. It's just not lit green like it's supposed to. I've even swapped out the inventory system connector pipe, and I've even replaced it with a completely new set of cards on both ends. Still doesn't update. But the one on the other end is. So it's, I don't know. I'm going to say it's a bug, whatever. Maybe it's because it's so far away. Maybe it's because that one's not chunk loaded right now. That's what it is. Oh my God. I'm a goofball. Hang on a sec. That is what it is. I just got struck with why that one's not lighting up. Silly, silly me. Let's get a stronghold. I'm going to actually shift right click. We're going to do the map. And like that, which reminds me also, we have new people on the server. So many people. Wait a minute. Yeah. Friend. Daldor's been so busy. Need to friend everybody. Got to make sure that all the new, oh, that's me. All the new people have permissions. I think we're good. Okay. So now what happens if we go back to the base? Yep, I'm a moron. That's why it wasn't chunk loaded. Duh. That's why it always works when I get there, but it never works when I come back because it wasn't staying chunk loaded. I'm smart. I swear I'm smart. Okay. So now we've solved that mystery. We've solved efficiency problems. The system runs smoother. Nothing gets lost in the network. This makes me very, very happy. I am sorry we had to do a second episode of boring sorting, but you get it. Sometimes that's also a permissions thing. I love Shade Hunter. He's awesome. Shade Hunter's cool. So yeah, that's we have to do these things sometimes when you have this big of a system with this much stuff being sorted. It really is important. Plus, now this means everything in, yep, chunk permissions, etc. So you can use these stuff here at the observatory. So yeah, everything in its place. And this makes me happy. This makes me super happy. We can now actually really streamline a lot of stuff. I still have a whole nother bank of storage drawers I can put right here. And we can still take these up a lot taller than we have them. I've got empty space over here and over here for the garden towers. If I need more space for garden towers, or maybe if we set up a tree farm somewhere remotely, we can actually do it that way. And it's going to be glorious. So I cannot wait to really see how this is going to help us in the long term. I think it is. I think it is. Thank you very much for joining me on this wonderful Wednesday episode of Vaygrim's Chance Season 3. I will catch you folks on Friday. Bye-bye.